Welcome everyone to the final 4 immunity challenge of the season. First things first, Ryan, he's got his back. Thank you. Immunity, arguably the most important immunity of the season, is up for grabs. Now, as you know, Jude could not make filming today, which means he can't compete. Good news for the 3 of you, your odds of winning this just went up to a 1 in 3. Now, for today's challenge, it's going to be grueling, it's going to be enduring, and it's going to take grit. What you'll have to do is you're going to have to make 20 trips up Jan's steps collecting tiles. Once you have all your tiles, you'll have to organize those tiles into a tower that goes at least 2 feet high. First person to do this guarantees themselves a spot in that final 3. A 1 in 3 chance at winning this game. Worth playing for?
Yeah.
Now, it won't be a challenge on the season of Moral Dilemma if I didn't offer you guys a dilemma before the challenge, which is why I brought each of you a rock today. Take a rock, shuffle it behind your back so no one knows which hand it's in. Hold on to that. Now, I'm going to give you guys a choice. You guys are going to either choose to reveal the rock or not reveal the rock. If no one here reveals the rock, I'm going to shave 2 laps off for everyone, right off the bat, saving you guys a lot of time in this grueling challenge. But if one person shows the rock, you're going to shave 3 laps off for yourself, and I'll give an extra lap to your other 2 competitors. If 2 of you reveal the rock, I'm going to add 3 extra laps to the person who didn't reveal the rock. And if everyone reveals the rock, everyone gets 2 extra laps. A little moral dilemma for this last challenge. Ryan, how important is winning this immunity?
I think it's really important, just being like, it's something to put on the resume that you won final immunity, and it ensures that like you're one of the final 3, so I think it's like very important.
Elena, are you worried people might try to screw each other over in this, give each other more laps?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see if the doves stay dovey. I mean, you know, I took the immunity clue the first challenge. Maybe I'll reveal the rock, maybe I won't.
Tucker, does that scare you? 20 laps at least going up things.
I don't think 20 laps scares me, but I think somebody's gonna flip a rock. So then maybe I have to flip a rock. So then I don't know.
Time to answer this quick moral dilemma to see if you guys are willing to screw each other over in this last challenge. Time is money. 2 extra laps could be the difference between winning this challenge and going home just minutes before the final countdown. Everybody, shuffle the rock into one of your hands so no one knows which one it's in, only you. Stick out the hand you want to reveal. This will either have the rock in it or not the rock in it, whichever you're going to reveal. Flip it over. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Everyone takes the rock. Everyone gets 3 more laps in this challenge. A grueling challenge just got harder.
It's okay. I was like, I gotta give myself any chance I can.
It's time to find out who it's going to be. Everyone will draw for spots on the challenge and we'll get to it. For the final 4 immunity of the season, and the only way to control your fate. Survivors ready? Go!
I think my strategy going into the challenge was obviously to take like a very early lead, so I was definitely like running up like the first couple and like lapping them to kind of like wither their morale.
We basically had to take up 23 pieces of wood all the way up Jan's steps and then come back down, and we also had to like balance them in between 2 poles, so it was very like taxing physically, and also like holding your arms the whole time, it started hurting my arms really bad as well.
It was really hard to kind of keep going, especially because Dunker's like training for an Ironman, I think, right now. So it was really hard to kind of keep going because Dunker was like so fast. It's kind of like humiliating, like him being like 5 like rounds or sets ahead.
You know, halfway through the challenge, I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna win, but I still kept going and like pushing myself.
It's a long challenge, but they're not giving up their pace. Down to 2 pieces left. Elena, big tile still sitting in front of her. Do not give up. You got this.
And as I was running up, I'm like, I have no clue like how I'm gonna build this tower. Like,
Dunker, now it's going to start building up the top tower. It has to go 2 feet high. Your body is exhausted, but how is your mind doing? That is the question.
Out of breath, hands were like shaking. Like the last thing I wanted to do was obviously, like build this tower. At a certain point, like I had no clue like how to even do this puzzle. I really thought, like for a second there, I was like, damn, I'm like extremely dumb, and I'm like gonna lose this challenge. Like it's just like only a matter of time before Ryan or Elena comes, and then they do it quicker than I do.
And I remember like running up and watching him, like, oh, he's like really struggling. So if I like pull together and if I go really fast, I could probably beat him if he like doesn't find an answer to it quick.
And with this, Ryan, is this your last piece? Yeah. Ryan. Dunkers finally get the most height piece in all challenge. And hold it together. Loses it.
I was like proud of myself for even being able to catch up to him and have an attempt at building the tower, because I think he was just like not very good at building the tower.
Players trying the same strategy now. They think they figured something out.
But by the time I got up there, like he was like kind of like getting into like a groove with his tower, and my hands were so shaky. I was trying to like shake them out and like focus, but my hands were shaking so bad that I could like barely get the base going.
Like I had been able to catch my breath a little bit more than Ryan and Elena, because they were obviously like really struggling.
Dunker hits his highest point. Ryan building a strong tower. Elena working on something. Who's cracked the code? Who's gonna hit 2 feet? You gotta tell me if you want to check. Tell me if you want to check. I'll check it for you. Dunker, just short of 2 feet. Dunker could win it or lose it right here. Ryan not giving up. Elena not giving up. I'm gonna do a check. Quickly. Dunker wins immunity. Guaranteed a 1 in 3 shot at winning this game.
Just winning was honestly like such a relief, and like obviously now I have like so much power and I'm loving it.
Congratulations to Dunker on winning the Final Four immunity of the season. Very well earned. You can stand up here. Dunker, how does it feel to have won that?
Such a relief. I thought it was looking grim for a second there, and I needed a hint.
Now, I do have one final twist for you guys. This season, it is not a vote at the Final Four. There will be a fire-making challenge. Dunker, you are going to have the sole choice in who the 2 people are competing in the fire-making challenge. Those 2 people will go head-to-head. Whoever loses will join the jury as the 8th juror. Big stakes. It's a decision for you to make.
Dunker winning was probably like the worst case scenario, because I think if Ryan would have won, he would have taken me to the end. Despite that it might not be the best move for him, he told me that he wanted that to happen. So unfortunately Dunker winning was just like not great for me, but I did give it my all and I was proud of myself in the challenge because it was really hard.
Now Dunker can send 2 people to make fire, which is really sucky because I think he's going to send me, and a good chance he's going to send Elena because we're the 2 biggest threats in the game right now. And
Dunker would most likely send me and Jude, because, and it just really sucks because I feel like any other outcome in that challenge, like if Ryan had won, he would have taken me. So when I heard that we were going to have mandatory firemaking and Dunker was going to choose, I kind of had a feeling that he was going to pick me and Jude.
And makes sense to pit us against each other, but it also makes sense to not to, because I think winning fire adds to your resume a whole bunch, and me and Elena have the biggest resumes of the 4 right now, and if we get to add that to our resume and the other person's out, I think whoever wins that is going to win the entire game.
I think my resume out of the 4 left is probably the weakest. I haven't played a deceitful game, I've played an honest game, and I think that the jury might not like respect that. I mean, I was left out of like a few votes.
I talked to Ryan, and Ryan literally wants to go into fire himself because he also thinks he needs like a resume boosting move, and so he thinks if he beats Jude, like people would see that as like, oh, like he won fire, and I don't think he has like a lot of like confidence he can win at the end, so I think he wanted that. He didn't even tell me that he thought he might actually want to go into the fire making. Because he feels like he needs it for his resume.
Yeah. No, he told me that, and that makes sense to me.
I feel like Ryan is a bit of a goat in a sense, and I think he doesn't necessarily have like the resume to beat me. So that's why I think I would take him.
I wanted to pitch to Dunker that he should send himself into fire against Jude, because I think Jude is also his biggest competition at Final Tribal because they've made a lot of the same like moves. I think Jude has just done it better and been more social. So I think Jude would pick up like every vote that Dunker could potentially get. And so I was saying like I wanted to tell him like, hey, if you take out Jude yourself, then all the people that voted for Jude would probably consider voting for you because you like made this big move. It's a really bold move to send yourself into fire, especially after you're immune. Well, for myself, ideally, I don't want to go to fire, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be pitching that I don't go. But
No, of course, I'm here to listen.
yeah. But I was thinking about like which way I think would make the most sense for you, like in your shoes, because like the way I see it right now, I still think Jude is like the biggest threat, like with just game moves.
But then there's also like the question of whether like I want him to have like the opportunity to add, like if he does win fire, if I want him to have the opportunity to add that to his resume.
Fire will be hell on earth for me because I don't think it's going to be a challenge built just for me personally.
I think fire is the only thing that is like what would stop me from winning. I feel like I have the potential to give a really good speech at Final Tribal, and I think I can sway the jury to vote in my favor. So I think if I'm at Final Tribal Council, I can win this game. I just really need to win fire, and I think my biggest thing that's standing in the way of me winning fire is myself.
I think if I get to the top 3, I'm going to win it. I think anyone. Elena might be a bit more difficult, especially if she makes fire, but I think I can make a very good case. Even if I get out tomorrow in Firemaking, I think I put my best foot forward and I've worked really hard to win this whole game, and if I can pass this, I will. So I feel like I gave myself a very good shot, and I'm very proud of myself making it this far. Even if nothing comes to fruition, I think I've played a fantastic game, and yeah, we'll see.
We'll now bring in the members of our jury. Hannah, Vince, Matthew, Lucas, Amon, Lena, and Monica voted out the last tribal council. We'll start off with the obvious. Congratulations, Dunker, on winning a brutal immunity challenge. To recap, you guys had to run 23 laps up jam steps, up and down, then build a puzzle tower. How does it feel to win immunity at this stage?
It's a bit of a relief, and it comes with a lot of power, but I think it also puts me in a tough position because now I have to send 2 5. I have to weigh the pros and the cons.
Elena, are you still feeling it from the challenge?
Yes. I couldn't walk the next day. I literally tried to get out of my bed, and I physically could not go to campus and go to class because of how painful it was to run up the stairs that many times. It was really hard, and especially against someone who runs marathons, I didn't stand a chance. But I tried my best, and that's all I could do. So.
Ryan, you never gave up in that challenge. Are you proud you stuck with it to the end?
Yeah, I'm really proud that I stuck with it. It was definitely really challenging. It's been a while since I've been running, or I felt a bit out of shape, and so it was kind of discouraging, I guess, to feel so far behind. But I knew that if I kept to it, and if I just didn't give up, then I could still have a chance. And even though Dunker did win in the end, I like to think that it was competitive because all 3 of us were still building the tower together. So I'm glad I gave it my all, and I'm glad I just tried my best.
Dunker, after you won that challenge, do you have any time, a moment of reflection for how far you made it in this game, or was it already people all over you wanting to keep them safe?
I think right after the challenge, I think I was just trying to catch my breath at that point. I think I had a lot of time trying to figure out how to do the tower, that I caught my breath a little bit, but still super exhausted. But I think I got to soak in the glory for a little bit, and then it was straight back to business the next day.
Jude, you had to play catch up. You weren't able to make that last challenge. How was the surprise for you finding out it's automatic fire making this season?
That was a bit terrifying. It's a lot of power Dunker has, and I just think that could totally change the dynamics of the game depending on what he chooses and who chooses to go. So I think it'll be a very interesting event.
Elena, every time you send someone out in this game, you're also sending them to the jury. How big is that tonight when you're sending the 8th member to the jury?
I think it's a really big deal. I mean, whoever goes to the jury tonight has been in the game the longest of anyone on the jury, and I think, they could potentially talk to people based on what Dunker's decision is. I pitched to Dunker what I thought he should do, and if I end up on the jury, I'll definitely take that into account, and tell the jury what I think.
Ryan, on the flip side of that, with Dunker's decision, he's also deciding who not to put on the jury. How much weight does that have?
I think that has a lot of weight, just depending on who he decides to spare. I think that it kind of puts into even though he might not directly say it, I feel like it's kind of says, oh, I'm not so worried about the person I spare. I just want 2 people who I don't, or who I think are huge threats to go to fire. So I think not even directly saying it, just by who he chooses, it's telling us it's kind of it's gonna say something who it is.
Jude, of the 4 of you guys, is the group in consensus who the big threats are, or does everyone have their own opinion who could win the 4 of you in the end?
I think we all have different opinions, honestly, but we've all kind of talked. I think everyone has played the game very differently, different strategies, different ways to get here, so I think everyone has a decent chance to get to the end.
Dunker, did everyone have lead 2? Wanted you to say, how did that break out past week? A whole new game.
I think I had some calls with everybody. They were kind of trying to plead their case of not sitting to fire. Ryan was actually the only unique one in the sense that he wanted to go to fire, build this resume. But I think it was a tough decision too, just because I have to send people to fire that I think, obviously would probably win, and also who are threats. And so the second I found out that it's going to be a puzzle challenge, I know Elena's been really good throughout the season with puzzles, so I think she's obviously a clear candidate to hopefully win.
But to clarify, we haven't actually had a puzzle challenge this season that Elena's won, correct?
Yeah, specifically the one, I wasn't there.
Okay.
But I heard it was it was in the middle of the double tribal where it was the slide puzzle.
I will say I was beat by Elena by about 2 minutes, but I did complete the puzzle. But I also went first. So.
Ryan, we're getting some pretty candid answers from Dunker there about you wanting to go to fire. Elaborate on that.
I just think it's one of those things where it's I have a lot to prove, and I said, hey, if you don't know who to send to fire, just go send me your coach. I want to go, and I want to prove to myself, and I want to prove to everyone here that I want to show people what I'm made of, I guess. And if I don't know, if I can't win fire, then I can't win. So it's one of those things where it's I need to I just want to prove to myself that I can do it, and I shouldn't be afraid of something. I shouldn't be saying, oh, don't send me to fire, because at the end of the day, I can do it no matter what. So that was just kind of my process.
Do you share that sentiment? Do you want to go to fire?
I don't feel like my resume needs to be built that much more. Maybe Ryan feels that way, but I think I'm okay the way I am. But I definitely could see benefit. Having that on top of the plate, I think would definitely be the tipping point for me. If I went to fire, I think that would definitely help my case with the jury. So I definitely see benefits both ways.
I think your case is good enough for that.
People still pleading right until the last minute. As the game winds down, before we make this crucial decision, the story of the season is all about how we play this game and how our morals change over the course of the season. Now, you all started on the dove track. Doves have overrun this game. One of you guys is going to win. But I'm curious from each of you, would you still consider yourself a dove or a snake in this game? Just for everyone. Ryan?
I think definitely dove. I think I started off even before I knew what the theme of the season was. I kind of wanted to work hard. I wanted to work with my friends, and I wanted to just give it my all. And I think throughout the season, I've just kind of stuck to what I believe in and stuck to my guns. I definitely still say dove.
I would say dove. As much as I had some smaller sneaky moments, I think overall I stayed loyal to the people I gave my word to, and I don't think I blaming people on the so I would say dove.
A different story, evidently. I think when I got called the biggest snake in the game, it was not false at all. I think I kind of owned it. I think I'm definitely a snake now.
Dunker, how about you?
I'd say a dove, but maybe with some snake-like tendencies. I don't know, when I first reviewed the game, I feel like I am a loyal person, but in order to win, sometimes you do have to, make some moves.
Let's see how pronounced those snake-like tendencies are. Dunker, it's time to make a decision. Who is the first person you're sending to fire tonight? Elena. Okay, Elena, how do you feel about that?
I expected it. I'm ready for it. Bring it on, you know?
And Dunker, who's going to be competing against Elena?
Jude.
Judy, how do you feel about that?
Pretty good, actually.
Well, congratulations now. Ryan, you are officially in the final three of this game. How does
Oh, we knew it.
feel to be in the final three sitting next to Dunker?
It feels good. I don't know. It feels crazy that like Final Three is like already here. So I'm just happy to like have made it like this far, and yeah, I know I'm excited. I want to give my all.
Well, Dunker, Ryan, congratulations. You're in the final three, but there's still one more spot available. It's time to find out who's going to get it. Let's head to fire. Elena, Jude, one of you will win this challenge, earn your spot in that final three. The other, this is the end of the line. A puzzle will end your game. We're doing a puzzle for this final challenge, a puzzle in the shape of fire, because in this game, fire represents your life. There are two puzzles we do randomly. Elena gets the white puzzle, Jude, you get the black puzzle. First person to get it done will win that spot. You guys ready? Well, it comes down to this. Survivors ready? Go! Oh, tearing into that bag. Not sure what they're getting into. Both of them wanting more than anything to be in that final three. It could be a great resume boosting move. Take too long, might also be bad to the jury. Who's gonna get those 24 pieces together first? Two dropping pieces on the ground. Haven't had a puzzle like this all season, and it's showing. Both players completely new to this. Who's gonna rise to the occasion and who is gonna go home? Elena has a lot of pieces together. Doesn't look anything like fire though. Jude has one big block. That's a nice piece. I'm gaining some speed, but not getting pieces. Elena gets a nice piece together. Both of you are gonna need to pick up the pace if you want this. Prove why you are the sole survivor in this moment. This is do or die. Elena's making big moves. Her puzzle's coming together. Jude quickly needs to get back in this. Getting more pieces together. She's down to just a few. Now where does those last two pieces go? Did you get it right? 3 pieces left for Elena. Can she get them in though? She's looking confused. 2 pieces left for Elena. Figure out where to stick them. This is your chance, Jude. Elena down to 1 piece left. Elena wins immunity, guaranteeing herself a spot in the final 3. Elena, congratulations, you have earned your spot in the final 3. How does it feel to have gotten this?
It feels really great. You know, I thought I was going to be doing fire tonight, and I didn't really know how it would go. That puzzle, when I first opened it, I was like, this looks really hard, and it was really hard. And Jude was really right there in there for a lot of it. It feels amazing. Like, I've been, you know, practicing my speech and really excited to present my case to the jury, so I'm really excited that I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah.
Well, Jude, you will officially be the 8th member of the jury. You will be the 13th person voted out of this game. How are you feeling right now?
Disappointed, of course, but I definitely feel like Elena is definitely puzzled, but I've been practicing all week on puzzles, and I definitely see like that I've gotten better, but obviously it was a good win, and I'm glad that if I had to lose, it was Elena, so.
Well, Jude, it's been an amazing adventure to watch you compete. When you signed up for this random club at UCLA, what did you hope to get out of all this?
Have some fun, basically, and I think I've had some fun, and I think I did a pretty darn good job so far, so.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch you play. I hope it fulfilled some of the adventure you were looking for. This is the end for you. You have become the 8th juror, and I will take it off now. Time for you to go. Dunker, Elena, Ryan, congratulations on making the final 3. This game has been a roller coaster. The one rule about a roller coaster: you don't let go until it's over. It's not over yet. See you guys very soon. Bye.
So, I just lost making fire with Elena. I feel like I put up a good fight, and I'm happy for what I did. I've worked my ass off for this game. Elena's a fantastic person. I love her. I think she's deserving to win Soul Survivor, and I think that's what's going to happen, honestly. But we'll definitely see. I'm disappointed, of course, but I'm just glad I got out. Like, no one expected this ending, which is kind of cool. I caused this game to be interesting, which I think is probably the highest honor you could have in Survivor.
Yeah, go for it, Ryan.
Sure.
What makes a moral dilemma hard is there's only so much to do, and all the great battles, good and evil, black and white, snake and dove, it always comes down to 2.
What?
Oh, awesome. Damn.
Ryan, Dunker, Elena, congratulations on making it to the final 3. But like all moral dilemmas, there can only be 2 of you in the end. This season ends on the final 2. This is our final twist of the season. Elena, how are you feeling?
Terrible. Not good. I thought I just like won my spot in the end.
You won your spot in the
Not
final 3. But still got one more test in front of you. Dunker, how are you feeling?
I was relaxed all week, and now the pressure's on.
Ryan.
Shit's never simple this season. That's all I
Moral
have
dilemma's
to say.
never easy. Duncan, for the last time, I'll take that back. For the last time this season, immunity is back up for grabs. For today's last challenge, the three of you will have to decipher a series of riddles. The answer to those riddles, the letters within them, will correspond to symbols. You will then have to use those symbols to solve a Turing test. A Turing test, for those who don't know, it's a mathematical model based really important computer science that's all about shifting states and stages to get a final phrase. And that's what this season has been all about. You've had to evolve, you've had to adapt, you've had to be able to shift states or your whole system will come crashing down. And that's exactly what you'll have to do for this puzzle. Turing tests take time, you have to think through them thoroughly. You'll still have to be fast if you want to beat your competitors. Win this, you'll have a 1 in 2 shot of winning this game. Get to plead your case to the jury and argue why you should be the sole survivor and win the $100 prize. Let's get to it. This whole season has been a moral test, and now, if you want to make it to that final tribal council, you're going to have to pass an actual test. Survivors ready? Go! In this basement room, the final three all begin working on this test. They first have to solve a bunch of riddles to unlock the symbols. That's the first part of this challenge. You actually have letters for those symbols that can take it to the Turing test. Ryan, already working on the part 2. Is he jumping the gun? Does he have a strategy? There's already been another one pressure test tonight. Let's just face for a second. How much gas is in that tank? Dunker's been chilling for a week without immunity necklace. Can he wake up to win this? Dunker wants to see win the 3rd individual immunity of the season. Time Lena's record she sets. Ryan's only had 1 individual immunity this whole season, but I know he wants a 2nd. Everyone's moving arrows except for Dunker. Dunker struggling to solve those riddles still. Do those answers have in common? What is the end of this going to be? He's looking for one word. One word will get you into this final tribal council. So Dunker picking up some speed. He finally gets an answer. Asking for a check. Not correct. I'm going to check. The word is outlived. Elena gets it. Elena wins final immunity of the season. Congratulations, Elena. You have won the final immunity of the season. You won the first immunity at the merge. You're winning the last one now. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. Like when I came in this year when you told us it was going to be another mini challenge in final 2, I was very distraught. But winning it myself, it feels great. And now I finally know I can give my case to the jury, so very excited.
You will get to plead your case to the jury, and you're going to get to pick who else will plead their case to the jury. This is your final moral dilemma of the season. Make the right decision, you will become the next sole survivor. Make the wrong decision, you'll be making a $100 mistake right now. I'll give you just a little bit to strategize, get your head in the right place, and then we'll do the final vote out of the season.
But I mean, that's to be expected. It's a season of moral dilemmas. I guess when Jude went home, I was feeling very confident, but Evan took me down a notch when we had to do another challenge after that.
I knew winning was going to be hard, but I mean, at least I got 2nd, so.
No, I don't think Elena will take me. I think her games are a little too different, and I think her game is a little too similar to Ryan's, and hers is probably a little bit better than Ryan's, so like realistically, like I don't think she's going to be taking me.
I don't know. I know that like we said, if this changes anything, then like I honestly like don't like care. I understand.
No.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do the end. I gave you my word and I mean it. Come here. I think our games have been too like different to where I think without you and Jude there, the Mon flip thing isn't used against me, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I don't blame you.
And I
You're
gave
good.
Ryan my word at the beginning of the game. It's been really fun playing with you. I'm really sorry. I
it's
know you
okay.
probably thought you. Oh, I feel so bad. Can I have a hug?
Sure. Yeah.
Jury, it's been a long time. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's get to it. Let's bring in the final three. Jury, getting your first look at Ryan, Dunker, and Elena. Elena wearing the immunity necklace because she just won the final immunity of the season. This season, we end, like all good moral dilemmas, on a final 2. Lots of shocked faces. Even more shocked faces from the three of you when I broke the news. Dunker, how does it feel? You came this close and then surprised we're ending on a final 2.
I know, I've been relaxing all week. Wasn't too stressful, and then dropped the bomb on me.
Ryan, how'd you react to the news?
They didn't hear it, but I'll say it again. This season's never been simple, so I was shocked. And I'm like, yeah.
Elena, how are you feeling? Because you were here with immunity. You're the only one right now guaranteed to get to actually plead your case to that jury.
Yeah, it feels amazing. Honestly, when we went in the room and you guys told us it was gonna be a final 2, I almost started crying because I was like, I just did the fire and I was so like hyped up to get to give my speech and I was like, not another challenge. But luckily I was able to pull it out and I know we all were taking a final 3, so honestly it kind of sucks that like I feel bad like I have to vote someone out, but I'm really glad that I was able to win and, secure my spot in the end.
You do have the final moral dilemma to make of this season. Dunker, I'm guessing you made a case. What did you say to Elena why she should keep you?
I think the decision was already made before I could even plead a case, so.
Oh, you think Elena already had her mind set?
Yeah, she took me straight up, so.
Ryan, did you feel the same way?
I agree. Yeah, I think a decision probably has already been made. I don't want I honestly I want to do whatever Elena decides. I don't want any pressure or anything I might have said beforehand to really say anything just because I don't want to be that I don't know. I just basically said I'm not offended either way, and I understand. I don't want what I said beforehand or what we had said to kind of get in the way of anything. It's her decision. I honestly I respect that, but I think a decision probably has been made.
Elena, do you feel confident in your decision?
I do, I'm just gonna go out and say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it. I won't say it. But I don't know, I feel like going into this, there's a person that I've been loyal to this game.
Are you worried this decision could come back to bite you in the butt, losing a jury vote this close to the end? This is the end.
Maybe, but with all the adrenaline running through me and all that's going on, I just had to make the decision that I thought was best in my heart morally and, for me, so.
You bring in morals. This is the season of morals, and when we cast you all on the season, on the application, this is one of the things we asked you about in the application. What would you do if you were in a final 3 spot like this? We're going to see how that answer changes. Do you remember what you said when you applied back before this even began?
I think I probably said I would do what I thought was best to win. I don't exactly remember, but I think that's probably what I said.
I have your answer right here if you want me to read it to you.
Sure, go for it.
This is what you wrote before the game began. This was your moral perception of how you play the game. It really depends on the situation, how close I was to them, but probably not in regards to would you keep someone loyal in the end. I don't think I'd turn on them before Final 4 or 3 Tribal, but I'd be willing to cut them right before Final Tribal Council if I was confident I'd lose to them and beat the other competitor I was going to the end with. I think even though I really value loyalty, at that point I'd be willing to cut anyone to win the game. Has that changed?
No.
So you think your morals have stayed the same throughout this game?
I think so. I think what I said in the moment was what I felt, and I think right now I'm still making a decision like that. I just think it also involves loyalty.
Let's not waste any more time. Elena, you'll be the only one voting tonight because Dunker can only vote for Ryan, Ryan can only vote for Dunker. It's time for you to make one last moral decision. Time to go vote. And then keep rolling.
I really hope I'm making the right decision here. I think my loyalty to Ryan is what's causing this decision, not necessarily anything you did. But yeah, hopefully this is the right choice. I'm sorry, Dunker.
ready to vote? 14th person voted out of Survivor Moral Dilemma and the 9th and final member of our jury. Dunker. Dunker. Travis spoken. Time for you to go. Elena, Ryan, congratulations. You officially gone as far as you can go in this game. No more tricks, no more dilemmas for you two. It's just time to see if you've made the right decision and made the right moves to win this game. The power now shifts to the 9 people you all had a hand in one way or another getting out of this game. So let's do Final Tribal Council somewhere a little nicer than this. Let's all head out.
No hard feelings. Like I understand. Like when they said that there was going to be a final 2, like I knew I was like in the minority there. So like it was a do or die situation. Like I had to win, and I had Ryan and Elena up against me. So if either of them won, they would probably take the other. So it was an outside chance, but don't blame me. It sucks I didn't make it all the way, but at least I get to enjoy it tonight.
Elena, Ryan, congratulations. You have made it to Final Tribal Council. This is what you've been waiting for 53 days. Now, let's bring in the 9 members of the jury. Hannah, Vince, Matthew, Lucas, Amon, Lena, Annika, Ju, and Ryan Dunker voted out just moments ago. This is it, everyone. Welcome to the Final Tribal Council. The power now shifts. The 9 of you who are taken out of this game will have to make a decision, the final moral dilemma of this game, who you want to be the sole survivor of this season. Now, you haven't gotten to talk to these two for quite a while, but that ends tonight as you get to address these two. Ask them questions, speak your mind, do whatever you need to do to make the right decision about who you think should be the winner of Survivor at UCLA Season 4. You guys ready to get to it? Okay, we're gonna start with some brief opening remarks from our final 2. Ryan, you can start us.
Yeah, going into this, I knew I wasn't going to be the smartest. I knew I wasn't going to be the most athletic. I wouldn't be the strongest. I knew I wouldn't know the most about Survivor. I knew I just wasn't going to be much. I'm kind of average on a lot of things, and I think that like on all fronts I'm kind of unremarkable. But honestly, that's okay. Through my life, I've been kind of this unremarkable, kind of average person amongst like peers and amongst siblings who are really good at everything. And I've kind of like been in the shadows, I guess, in the shadows of other people. But being in the shadows kind of like changes you. You learn a lot of things. By observing other people in the limelight, you learn how to understand people. You learn how to connect with people. You learn how to talk with people. You learn what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what scares them, just how people connect. And after a while, it starts taking an effect on you. You become introspective. You know how to empathize with people. You just know, you just genuinely like talking and hanging out with people. And basically what I'm trying to say is you become really good at making friends. And this is what I said on my first confessional. I'm average at a lot of things. At this school, there's going to be a bunch of people who are way better at me than this. But I am really good at making friends. And I think that I'm good at kind of connecting with people, and I love like talking with people. So that was the thing that was going to push me over the edge and kind of get me to where I am now. And I like to think that like my intuition then is pretty strong because I'm here right now. I was expecting to do this with like Jude or Dunker, but I think that I still think I'm the most loyal dove, and I think I'm the doviest out of like the group. I feel like I've always worked with like my friends, and I've always been honest and upfront. Whereas some other people, some other doves before have said ally or said friend, but as soon as like that doesn't, they're not useful anymore. Like they're not like I don't know, they'll sell them down the river, I guess. But I've always liked working with my friends, and I think that like the fact that I didn't know about the Vince, or the fact that I didn't know about the Lucas vote, people really didn't want to tell me about the Vince vote until like 30 minutes beforehand. The fact that like I think that just speaks volumes as to like how loyal and how like I play this game. Like I really want to be with my friends, and with the Matthew thing too. Like I knew it was gonna be him or me. I didn't know which one it was, but before we were gonna vote, like after we stopped talking, Amon was like with me, kind of nudges me, and he's like, hey, like Matthew, but like promise, you need to like, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And I knew at that point, thinking longevity in the game, like there's every reason I needed to like vote like Matthew right there. But like I don't know, I knew like if I didn't vote Matthew, like there's like there's going to be a majority either way. If most people are voting Matthew, so like I should vote him anyways. But I was thinking, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to do it. This is like goes against everything I stand for. What I said on the first day, I'm not writing him down. I don't care if like Iman is going to like take me out next, or like if I have a huge target on my back because I lied with people or because I lied to him. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm so writing down June's name. I'm like, I don't care about the longevity like of my game. Like I can't like sell like one of my friends down the river, someone I was working with. It goes against everything I did and everything I said. I don't know. I chose to defy Survivor. I know it's a game about deceit, social deception, whatever, but I wanted to like stick to my morals. I just wanted to like work with my friends and get as far as I could. And I think I've done a really good job about that right now. But I have been working and I have been like doing things behind the scene. I do have an idol. It's in my backpack, but I have it. And I kept it on for a few weeks. I was going to use it at Final 5 just to make sure I was in Final 4, but I don't know, I just worked hard. I won immunity, I didn't need it, so now like I have a memento. And I don't know, I just get to keep it. I've heard what people have said. I heard people have basically alluded to the fact that like I'm not a good player, I'm stupid, I'm dumb. Like, I don't know, even though like it might like, some of those things might be true. This is just a game I've been playing. I hope I could just give you the perspective and the mindset of like what I believe in and my philosophy and what I wanted to do. Yeah, and so I don't care what anyone thinks. And if you still think that way, I don't even care about your vote. Like, don't give it to me. This is what I believe in, and this is like, I don't know how I like wanted to play the game.
Thank you, Ryan. Elena, you're up.
Yeah, first off, I just want to say, Ryan, I don't think you're stupid, dumb, or any of those things you said. You know, I'm really happy to be sitting here next to you. You know, we told each other we were working together from day one, and here we are, so please don't discount yourself about that. But jury, it's really an honor to sit before you guys today. I'm super excited to plead my case and hope you guys see what actually is Soul Survivor. So I have 3 main points of my game that I think really outline why I would be the Soul Survivor. And those are that I was social, I was adaptable, and I was patient. So starting off in the social aspect, I'm a really outgoing and extroverted person in my day-to-day life. And coming into this game, I wanted to play Survivor, but I also knew kind of like what Ryan said, I wanted to make really close friendships. And so I went into every conversation, every relationship, like wanting to come out of it as being someone's friend. And I think I worked really hard on these relationships to make sure that people had me as a priority, not just an alliance, not just like a group of people, they wanted me safe. And I think this is evidenced by the fact on my first tribe, I think there are at least 4 people that had me as their closest ally or one of their closest allies right from the get-go. And those relationships really helped me out throughout the game, even when things didn't go my way. And that gets to my next point, which is adaptability. You know, my closest ally at the time, Hannah, was voted out as the merge vote. And I was completely blindsided, I didn't see it coming. But I knew I couldn't just wallow in that sadness, I couldn't just like give up. You know, I had to bounce back immediately. And so I really worked on making connections with all the snakes, Iman, Annika, Elena in particular, and even keeping like side deals with these events to see like which way was going to be more beneficial for me. But the closest deal I made and the most important deal I made right after that tribal was with Jude. We were walking back to the hill right after this tribal. Jude had completely blindsided me, and I said, hey Jude, what if we just shake hands right here and tell each other we're never voting each other and now we have each other's backs? And that is a deal that really truly saved me in the end of the day, because whenever I was being targeted, you know, Jude had my back, and I knew he was going to have my back if my name was ever coming up. Lastly, I was patient. You know, I took the idol clue on day 1. I found the idol. No one on my tribe suspected I had it at all due to like my strong social connections in the tribe. I convinced everyone I didn't even have it and had no idea who had it. And it only became like at the merge when I decided to tell people that I had the idol clue, that I had the idol, that it finally, you know, came out. But when it did come out and that became an issue, it caused you guys to split the votes on me and Ryan, you know, allowing us to win the vote with a small amount of votes and take out Iman, who I really think was the biggest star in the game at the time. Being adaptable, you know, just now I had to win in Firemaking. I knew I was going to go into it with that, but I was seen as one of the 2 biggest threats in the game at that time. I knew I'd have to win that, but immediately after that they told us it's the final 2. And I was like distraught because I was like, if I don't win this, I'm going home. And so I knew what I had to do, and I had to win that, clutch out that final immunity. And I decided to take Ryan because, like I said, you know, we've been close allies, like really close allies throughout this entire game. And I would have just felt awful like not bringing him, you know, since we've been working together the whole game. So I think those points really demonstrate why I should be the Soul Survivor. I poured my heart, soul, and tears into this game, cried a lot, had so much fun, scraped my knee, like couldn't walk for a day. But you know, that's what Survivor is, and I really enjoyed my time here, and I hope you guys can see that. So I'm excited to answer it.
Jury, it's time for you guys to weigh in on all this. Hannah, you're up first.
I want to start off by saying congratulations to you both. You both absolutely deserve your spot here no matter what anyone says. I just have a simple question for you both. What is one word that you would use to describe your game?
Well, I kind of already said this in my speech, but I definitely think adaptable. You know, there are many situations where I didn't exactly know what was going on. Like when you went home, I thought my game was over for a second. I was like, oh my god, I was just completely blindsided. But I managed to bounce back from all those situations. So I would definitely say adaptable, yeah.
If it was one word, I think just honest, but I mean I stuck. I think everyone else here has kind of shifted in what they said originally when they first interview or their first confessional or their first interview before this, but I think I've stuck. One of other people's stuck to what I said consistently. So I think honest and consistent.
Elena, I think you gave a great answer. I think you embodied adaptability throughout this game. I'm absolutely going to vote for you tonight, and if the jury has any respect for this game and for themselves, it should be a 9-0 sweep tonight, even though Ryan, I do love you as a person.
Thank you, Hannah. Matthew, you're up.
You two are very deserving of your spots. I'm so glad you guys are too. My question is there a move you guys made that the majority of us wouldn't know about? Is there something you were doing behind the scenes, something small you were doing that made a big impact and why you ended up in the final two?
I guess move I made was just off the dome, just kind of even though most people knew about it, most people know about it, I was still pretending most people did. I think it gave me some leverage in the game, and it was something I could hide behind. So it's I guess just finding your own really quickly.
Mine was definitely the deal I made with Jude after Hannah went home. I think no one really knew that we had that secret deal, and I knew that if I was ever targeted, Jude would be in on it because he was really into the snakes. And I also knew I had an idol, so all I needed was for Jude to tell me your name's out there. But even then, whenever Jude first came to me, he wanted me and Ryan to play both of our idols. And I told him no, this needs to be a vote, and you're gonna have to vote at some point, you need to vote with them. And then I was able to save my idol through that and just carry it all the way to final five, even though it was public knowledge. But I think definitely the deal with Jude, that really saved my ass on the line for sure.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know about it, but that's good on your part. Could I ask you guys?
Thank you, Matthew. Lena, you're up.
All right, you guys, it's impressive that you had this day one alliance and made it to the end together. It's a testament to your honesty, it's a testament to your trust. But I am going to take this final moment to stir the pot a little bit. I want each of you to tell me why the other person should not win.
I can go first. I think, as much as I love Ryan, I don't think Ryan had any information that wasn't from me or maybe from Lucas at one point in the game. I think I was kind of the one filling him in, if at all. There were times that I didn't fill him in on the Lucas vote. So I think, without me in the game, I think Ryan wouldn't have known a lot of what was going on, even less so than he already did. And as much as I love you as a person, I think I just had a lot more agency in this game than Ryan, and was kind of keeping him safe for a lot of rounds. And yeah, I think that was probably the biggest one.
I think Elena's just biggest weakness was how frequent, basically what I was saying before, how I value, what I value in this game is just kind of trust and friendship and stuff like that. They were we were allies and we were close, but we were useful to each other. I think that her biggest weakness that she didn't win is that kind of some of the other does. There were things that were said that weren't entirely true. She basically went along with the one of our biggest allies, the place. So I think that would be against a lot. Just not being faithful to her, just advancing her own agenda, even if it's at the cost of something else.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lena. Iman, you're up.
Well, hi you guys. Okay, so I want to start this off by saying that everyone here, the entire cast, made this season incredible. We all played really hard. I love you two as people, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for you personally. Game-wise, though, I have a lot of issues with the two of you sitting here, not coming from a place where, oh, I was outsmarted and I'm feeling some type of way about that. I actually think the move you guys pulled, thanks Jude, was brilliant and it really caught me off guard, so congrats to you guys. I just think that both of your games have a little bit too many cons versus pro for me, and you both had two distinct instances where you could have made game-defining or individual game-defining moves and you both blew it. And I've been thoroughly disappointed. I predicted the order of everything that you guys have done, and I wanted more. I really wanted to see you guys push yourselves. The Dove way has been so predictable, so boring, and so corny. And I wanted you guys to really break out of that. So I'm gonna keep listening throughout the night, and I wanna give you guys your chances. But I do wanna say what these moves were so you guys can understand what I'm coming from. Ryan, you had the idol at Final 5. You did not vote in the majority up until Final 7 with my vote. You knew about it, 2 votes, chose to vote in the wrong, which I saw an angle, a jury management angle to that, and I was kind of telling you that in our conversations that you could play that angle, but you didn't present it to me today. That's where I'm disappointed. That's one thing. And also, to me, I feel like if you had played the idol, obviously I'm biased towards Annika, like, you know, I'm not gonna say that, but like, I think you needed to use that idol to really stamp and define that move, because as the jury, we were sitting there like, use it, use it, use it. Just looking at you, Ryan, do something. We want to vote you. We love you. We like you. But you didn't do it. And from there, I just couldn't root for you anymore. And with you, in our little Ponderosa, we were all discussing that you two are an undeniable pair. And we wanted to see how you would define yourselves apart from each other. And you had the chance to vote him off. And I'm telling you right now, love you, Dunker, it would have been a landslide vote. You would have won unanimously. And so I don't necessarily think that doing something that feels the best sometimes is the best thing to do, you know? And I think you guys have good cases. I just think that you guys could have framed it better for me. But I do think you guys did something right. You guys obviously made it to this point. And I congratulate you guys both on that. I will be listening throughout the night, and I want to change my mind. I want to be open, and I want to vote for one of you guys with passion rather than just like, I guess. And you guys have the rest of the night to really prove that to me. Congratulations to me to the final 2, and good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Iman. Lucas, you're up.
Alrighty. So, well, congrats on making it. I am proud of both of you. I think you did a great job. However, I feel like you both kind of stumbled into the finals, besides you winning the amenities getting here. For me, it's really hard to distinguish both of your games right now. Because you're saying that your deal with Jude really made you like get past that one vote where I went home, and then right after Iman went. However, what is Jude's word right now? He flipped twice. I mean, he was a huge flipper. So how could you trust that? So you take me out, and they had 4. They had the majority, and at the last minute, Jude flips, and you luck out. Otherwise, I mean, it probably was you. If it wasn't you, it would have been you or Dunker. So it doesn't really seem like that deal was really that useful until the very last minute where Jude changed his mind. And honestly, if Jude was in the final tribal council, he would easily have my vote. So I need you to justify why taking me out and leaving yourself vulnerable was the right move.
Right, so initially, like a big reason why I took you out, Lucas, is because of Lena, actually. And this is why I think, you know, there was an alliance formed that was you, me, Ryan, and Lena, kind of from our 2.0 after Vince went home. And I was like debating, is this going to be the alliance that makes sense for me, or is this like working with other people going to make more sense for me? And so I really did want to talk to Lena about this because I felt like she was the most in between working with you and working with Iman and Annika. And I had a conversation with her in which we kind of discussed like, oh, should we vote Lucas? Should we like not vote Lucas? Like, should we like move on Iman or Annika? And once I talked to her. I wasn't sure like which way she was going, and then Iman came to me and said like, "Hey, we're gonna vote Lucas." Like, and then right after that, I called Lena, and she told me she was absolutely down to vote for you. And at that moment, I knew the alliance of us four was not gonna work, because if there's one person in that alliance who already is that willing to vote for you, there's really nothing I can do at that point. Like, yes, I could have played my idol for you, but that would have made me look terrible in the eyes of like Iman, Annika, and Lena, and then I would have no idol to defend myself if I was like the next one to go. So I think that was the main reason I voted you out, because when we had our conversation at the Nev, like I was fully thinking like this alliance would make sense for me, but it doesn't make sense if one person in the alliance is just not down for it. And so I was really kind of weighing both sides of that when I made that decision. And with the alliance with Jude, you know, you're right, Jude had lied to me many times, and there was like no like full guarantee that this like relationship was gonna work. But earlier on in the week, whenever I ended up being the vote, Jude told me there's like a 30% chance you might get votes this week. And so I knew it was gonna be an option, and I knew that that was the move that was best for Jude's game as well, because if he went to the end with Annika and Iman, he was gonna lose, like there's no way. So I kind of like knew that I was kind of encouraging him like, hey, we need to make a move soon. And so I think as much as that move was Jude helping me, it was me like telling Jude to like, this move needs to happen. It wasn't just him coming to save me. It was talked about throughout the week. And like I said, he even wanted me to play my idol and Ryan to play the idol, and I was like, no, this isn't gonna work. And I was able to save my idol through that. So I think the move was as beneficial for Jude as it was for me, and it wasn't that like he was just coming to save me. So I think those are like my two answers for that.
Okay. Yeah. Brian, you're a great friend. I really enjoyed my time playing with you. You're always honest. You're the one person that didn't flip on me, so you know, of course I love that. But I need you right now to distinguish yourself. You were honest, you were loyal, but what made you get here? Why are you sitting in that seat right now?
I think just kind of looking out for myself. I think from what you guys were talking in Ponderosa, a lot of what you were saying is true, but I don't think you quite like understand kind of like, I mean, I definitely was like thinking, I definitely did have like an insurance plan. What I don't remember what you said or what somebody said, but the fact that I wasn't like playing my idol, and that we had two idols, and like we were gonna like play it. I like wasn't gonna play my idol because I knew I had insurance. I knew I had like an insurance. I knew I had insurance because I knew that Elena was like. I knew that they probably knew about Elena's idol, and I knew that they were probably going to like learn about my idol because Amon had known, Lena had known. I didn't know it yet, but I assumed Amon had told Annika, who probably told everyone else, which turned out to be true. But basically, I knew that Elena was going to be like the target over me, and I kind of like hid behind that. There was like insurance. So that's why I wasn't really like making any plans to like use my idol like in a safe way, because I knew that like it wasn't going to be me who was being voted. Then I could use my idol like, later on if needed, but I wanted to keep on. I wanted to like save it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to both of you. Like I said, I'm proud of you guys. You guys did great. So good luck.
Thank you.
Jude, you're up.
Hey guys, it's been a little bit, huh? So, I would say Elena definitely played better competitively, but I think Ryan's a bit underrated in the competitive aspect, the challenges. You might have not won, you won one, but how many of these challenges were you second place behind? I know the smooth challenge, you almost beat me. I know the one, the counting challenge, you almost won that, you won that one. And one of the board game challenge, you were second in that. You might have not won them all, but you were definitely very close. And as the snakiest snake here, I can definitely say we played different games, opposite games. And I have a lot of respect for someone who had morals and didn't want to flip, didn't want to lie. You stuck to it, even though it made you look like a bit of an outcast compared to everyone else. And I think that's admirable. I think it's really freaking hard to do. I came into this game thinking I was going to be the most honest person here. I was not going to lie to a single soul. Didn't happen. So the fact you stuck to that is fantastic. Elena, you taking credit for the big move, and I actually 100% agree with you. I came to you first, and I was like, I want you both to play your idols. I thought both the idols out and helped my case later in line, but you switched around that plan. You came to me like, no, this is what's gonna happen. You shifted. So like, I was gonna take credit when I think I was gonna come up here for that whole move, but I think you had plans in store. My only comment is you didn't come to me really. And both of you guys had idols and were letting the snakes
bully you guys around. You guys all had all this power. You guys didn't really use it later, so like that's my only comment. But I think you both played a good game, and would rather be up there, but it is what it is. One question for you though is, you told me that you would flip and stone when you had a chance. You told me you would never write my name down, and this might decide my vote. Would you write my name down if I was going with you?
Right here at 3,
Yeah.
I would have written your name down here. I'm sorry.
Cool. Thank you.
Really honest.
Thank you, Jude. Annika, you're next.
Please.
Hey guys, so I had something else planned that I'm not going to be doing anymore, but I just want to start off by saying that for both of you, I really enjoyed getting to know you and becoming friends with you because I feel like we are friends. With that said, I think I will be speaking to the jury a little bit more on this one. In a game where lying, deception, and manipulation are the key things that are supposed to be rewarded, it is a complete opposite of reality. Why is Ryan's way of playing the game so bad? It's almost like it should be rewarded to be the most loyal, to get to the end by doing that. And I'm sorry, Elena, I don't think I can give you my vote tonight because you did not make a single move that was completely yours. And you should not have voted out Vince. In my very sound opinion, you should have gone with Vince and Lucas and taken out Iman and I. You should have told Vince he was going home. And you would have so much more to put on your resume if you had done that. I also think your argument about having the immunity idol causing us to split up our vote, Ryan had an immunity idol too that we all knew about. So it was both of you having your immunity idol that caused us to split the vote, not just you having yours. So I just don't think that's really an argument you can use to support your own game. Ryan, I think you possibly had the best social game out of anybody in the cast other than me. Okay, whatever, guys. These reactions from you. You were my favorite conversation that I've had with anybody, just sitting down and talking to you. We had such an amazing time. I think that it's respectable to purposefully leave yourself out of the vote because you didn't want to write your name down. I think that needs to be given more credit than it actually is. I find it to be more respectable than going along with whatever me and Iman wanted at that specific time. Because you had so many opportunities where you could have made your own move, where I would have felt better about your game. And again, personally, girl, I love you. You know that, okay? I just really think it's in my opinion, taking the riskier decision to not vote for Vince at that time was I just find that admirable. And I think not voting for Matthew is admirable. And I think even writing my name down because you knew I was screwing you over that week, I find that to be admirable because, well, you didn't write my name down. I still think you should have played your idol on me because it would have given you a better move and I don't think I would have won the final 4 immunity challenge, but I guess I can give you guys a moment to respond to my remarks if you would like.
Yeah, I will say about you saying I didn't make a move that was my own. I think, there were many times where I thought what if I played my idol in this person? Lucas was a big one of those.
But you didn't do it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna explain to you why I didn't, I think in that moment, why would I waste my idol and then you guys would have completely come for me? I know you guys would have voted me out.
But I'm not saying you should have played your idol on Lucas. I'm just saying you should have told Lucas he was going home because he had an entire week to figure something else out and possibly convince Lena to flip, possibly convince Jude to flip, and you didn't do any of that. You just voted Lucas and he had the entire week. I mean, Vince I can understand more because it was literally such a last minute decision, but we've been lying to Lucas the whole week. You could have told him something. I'll let Ryan give his response now.
You're next.
So you can't respond?
Yeah, you're next. Thank you, Vince, you're up.
All right, let's do this.
Congratulations to both of you. Glad to see you both here. I just have one question for you both tonight. What was the biggest thing that you both learned about yourself throughout the duration of this game?
I think the biggest thing that I can learn about myself is that I don't know, just to kind of trust in myself, to trust my intuition. Like I said the very first day where I was just going to kind of work hard, and I knew that I didn't want to be super I guess, assertive or like knowledgeable, because I know that like knowledge scares people, and I didn't want to be like perceived as a threat. I kind of wanted to blend like in the shadows, I guess, and to kind of not be perceived as a threat until it's very late, until like where I have an idol and making like my fake idol, I don't know what I mean, like not be perceived as a threat until like I'm actually doing it. So I think that like that kind of reaffirmed that like I just need to trust my intuition and something like the very first day before like the first time we're filming, and I think that that's something
I think for me, I like learned about how I deal with conflict a lot. I think in my normal day-to-day life, I'm like a pretty passive person. Sometimes I, will let people walk all over me. And I think at the beginning of the game, there were definitely instances where I was like, I don't think I can control this, so like I'm not gonna make a decision. And I think what I learned about myself is like throughout the game, I think I became a lot more assertive. At the beginning, definitely like kind of what I was saying, there were times when maybe I could have made a huge move, but I chose not to. And I think, down the line, I think I learned like how to be more assertive and like say what I want to happen. I told you I want like us to go this way, and I think it's gonna go outside the game and help like how I deal with conflict in like the future. If I have an opinion, like I should say it and not just like be silenced, because I think like I don't want to just like start a conflict or start a fight with people. So I think this game brings you into a lot of conflict, but I feel like figuring out how to deal with that in the best way that's like for you is a big thing. I think that's kind of like what I learned.
Congratulations to you both. I think it's worth saying that playing a not malicious game, respectable game, and you both sitting here for doing that is worth something. Not playing like bullies, so I think that means something, and congratulations.
Thank you, Vince. Last question of the season, Duncan. You're up.
Congratulations for being here. I don't really have any questions. Just 2 remarks. Starting with you, Elena. I think the pact that you made with Jude, I don't think you should be flexing that. I think he definitely lied to you. Like 30% of the votes are coming towards you. 100% of the votes are coming towards you. But that's okay. Ryan, I think you've been writing yourself off all season, but I want you to have more confidence. Like, you deserve to be here. Despite everything that they say, you should have more confidence in life in general. But with that, my final question is, what is your favorite color?
Mine is teal.
Maybe darker blues, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And with that, it's now time to vote for the last time this game. Lena, you're up first.
Queen!
And I can't wait to see you win.
Elena, you deserve this more than anyone on the face of this planet. I love you, I'm proud of you, and I can't wait to see you win this game.
I was robbed. Thank you! It is much easier to conform and go along with the group. That's why.
Well. I want to thank you all for an incredible season. It has been so much fun getting to watch you play. And it all comes down to this now. This is the only time in this game you want to see your name on the parchment. Tonight, it takes 5 votes to win. For the last time, I'll read the votes. First vote, Elena. Second vote, Elena. It's 2 votes, Elena. Third vote, Ryan. Fourth vote, Ryan. We're tied. 2 votes Elena, 2 votes Ryan. Elena. Ryan. We're tied again. 3 votes Elena, 3 votes Ryan. Seventh vote, Elena. Ryan. We're tied again. 4 votes Elena, 4 votes Ryan, 1 vote left. The winner of Survivor Moral Dilemma, Elena. Congratulations, this is yours, the $100 check. What a game, thank you again. Elena, how does it feel?
It feels amazing, you know, like I told everyone I put my heart and soul into this game, and to come out of it victorious, it's such a close vote. Like, I'm so glad that Ryan got those 4 votes. You know, I think he played an amazing game and he deserved those votes. But to win, it just feels amazing. Like, I'm just so excited. This is like a dream, you know?
Ryan, you lost by 1 vote, coming so close. You still played an incredible game. It was such a joy to watch you walk. It was such a joy to watch you play. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, I'm glad I made it this far. I mean, 2nd place, that's something to be like, that's something to be proud of. I think out of anyone here, I'm glad that like, it's like, I'm glad, like if I could lose to anyone, I'm glad it was Elena. So it was like day 1, I knew I wanted to work with her. So, I mean, I think it's cool that we're both in like the finals together. So I'm just like, there's no reason to be sad. I'm happy.
You guys put up no reason to be mad. You guys put up a great game.